So, in our last lecture, we have seen the value of this left hand side number, this is equal to 1 by 2 pi delta c argument of fz. So, here this delta c argument of fz, it is the rate of change in argument of fz when z moves along contour c. Okay, so as the statement in the statement of argument principle, we can see that we can write the conclusion, we can replace this conclusion by 1 by 2 pi iota. This is the 1 by 2 pi, 1 by 2 pi, this is the delta c argument of fz, this is equal to capital N minus p. Okay, so by this one we can see, we can write the change in argument of fz in terms of number of zeros and poles. That's why this principle is known as argument principle, because we are connecting the rate of change of argument with the number of zeros and poles. Okay, so that's why we are saying this is the argument principle. Now we are trying to see how this argument principle works. Okay, to see this one, I am taking a function fz, let fz is equal to z square minus 1, and let c be a contour, this which is a circle with center 1 of radius 1. Okay. And we can see that this f of z bar, we can write f of z bar, this is equal to the whole bar of fz. Okay, and also this c, also the contour c in z plane, we can see this is the contour c in z plane, is symmetrical about x-axis. Therefore, if we take the image gamma, which is the image of this circle under this function f, this will be symmetrical about the u-axis. Okay, so therefore this gamma will be symmetrical about a real part of w. Okay, and if we write this real part of w is equal to u, therefore we can say the image of gamma, this is the image of c under f, which is gamma, is symmetrical about u-axis. Okay, and that is the one thing. Second, if I take z is equal to x plus iota y, so I can write this fz is equal to u plus iv, this one, and that I can write, this is the x square minus y square minus 1 plus twice iota of xy. Okay, now comparing, I get u of xy, this is equal to x square minus y square minus 1, and v of xy, this is equal to twice of xy. Okay, now I am interested to see the image of this contour c under the function fz. Okay, now to see this one, I am taking the image of different points. So I am taking this is equal to the 2 and this is equal to the 1, and there is a point, this is the 1 plus iota, and this is the point 0. Okay, now the image of z is equal to the point 2. Now for this one we can see x is equal to 2 but y is equal to 0. Okay, therefore putting in this u and v, we are getting that the image w, it will be the point 3. Okay, now the image of this point 1 plus iota, for this we can see the x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. Now putting this value of x and y, we are getting that w is equal to minus 1 plus of 2 iota, because this u is equal to that x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, so we are getting u is equal to minus 1 and we are getting v is equal to 2. Okay, further the image of point this 0, this is equal to the image of this 0. For this both x and y are 0, so we are getting u is equal to -1 but v is equal to 0. So finally this is the image -1. Okay, so overall we are getting the image of this point 2 under the function fz. This is equal to the 3. The image of 1 plus iota, it is some point -1 plus twice of iota. The image of 0, this is equal to the -1. Now connecting smoothly these points, so we are getting this such a curve. And since the fz is symmetrical about u axis, let this is equal to u, let this is equal to v. So since this is symmetrical, so this is the image, this one. Okay, now we can see the delta c of argument of fz, the rate of change in argument of fz when z traverses along the contour c. So we can see this is equal to 2 pi, because the starting and ending point are same for any w. For any w, the starting and ending point will be same. Therefore, the rate in change of argument of fz, that will be the 2 pi. Okay, so this is equal to the value of, this is the 1 by 2 pi delta c of argument of fz. This is equal to 1. And by the argument principle, this value should be the capital N minus P, where capital N is the number of zeros of f inside contour C and capital P is the number of zeros of poles inside contour C. Here we note that this function f is analytic. Therefore, this is not having any pole inside C. It means this P is equal to 0. Okay. Also the zeros of f, that is the zeros of f, that is the zeros of f are f plus minus 1. And we can see that the plus 1, that is the 1 is the only zero which is laying inside contour C. Therefore, the value of capital N is equal to 1. Okay. So, by this one we can see that this argument principle works. Okay. Now we are interested to see the proof of argument principle, which is simple and based on the residue theorem. So now we are interested to see this is the proof of argument principle. So to do the proof, we define some function capital Fz, it is the f prime z upon fz. Okay, then the possible singularities of capital F are number of zeros and poles of small f in C. Therefore, by the residue theorem, we can write the value of this is the 1 by 2 pi iota of C capital Fz dz. This is equal to the sum of residue of capital Fz on C. Okay. Now, if Aj is a zero of order nj of f, then we can write this function fz, this is equal to z minus aj, this is the whole power nj of gz, where this g, where this g is analytic at aj and g of aj, this g of aj is not equal to 0. Okay. Now taking the logarithmic derivative of f, if we take the logarithmic derivative of f, so we get the f prime z upon f z, this is equal to the nj upon z minus aj plus g prime z, it is divided by gz. Okay, so this gives that this is the residue of capital F prime, small f prime upon f at aj. This is equal to n of j. Okay. Further, let bk is a pole of order pk of f. Then we can write this function fz in terms of z minus bk power of minus pk of gz, where this g is analytic at bk and g of bk is not equal to 0. Okay. Now, if we take the logarithmic derivative of this function fz, so we get f prime z upon fz. It is the minus of pk z minus of bk plus g prime z upon gz. Okay, where this g is analytic at bk. This g is no doubt analytic at bk. Okay, so by this one we get the residue of this f prime z divided by fz at bk. This is the minus of pk. Okay, so we can get the residue of f prime by f at each 0 and at each pole. Okay, so finally the value of this integration, this is the 1 by 2 pi iota of contour integration f prime z upon fz, we can of dz, we can write this in terms of sum of all nj minus the sum of all such pk. This is over j, this is over k. Okay, and the sum of all nj we can write this is the capital N, and the sum of all pk we can write it is the capital P. Okay, so this is the proof of argument principle which is based on the residue theorem. So it is very simple. We can see it is very simple. Okay. Now we are interested to have one applications of residue theorem, which is the Roche's theorem. So we are going to take this is the Roche's theorem. So what is the statement of this Roche's theorem? We let f and g be meromorphic. These are meromorphic in a domain D. These are meromorphic in a domain D, this one, and have only finitely many zeros and poles in D. Okay, suppose that C is a positively oriented simple closed contour in D such that no zeros and poles of f and g lie on C. Okay, and we assume that mode of gz, this mode of gz is less than mode of fz. Okay, this is on C. Okay, so all these were hypotheses. Then the conclusion will be then the difference between the number of zeros and number of poles is same for f and f plus g. So then we can write the difference between number of zeros and number of poles of f and f plus g is same, so that we can write it is the n of f minus p of f. It should be equal to n of f plus g minus p of f plus g. Okay, so this is the result. Okay, so we are going to prove this result, and to prove this result we will use the argument principle. Okay, but before proving this result we can see that some books are having different wordings for the Roche's theorem. So some books are having instead of taking this hypothesis, they are taking that is the mode of gz minus of fz is less than mode of fz. Okay, so they are taking this one. If this is, then the conclusion will also change. That is the number of the difference between number of zeros and poles will be same for f and g. Okay, so this will be the nf minus p of f. It will be equal to n of g minus p of g. Okay, so some books are using this different wordings for this Roche's theorem. Okay, now to prove this Roche's theorem we will use the argument principle. So we are going to prove this result. We note that both f and g, f and f plus g, both f and f plus g are non-zero, zero on C. Okay, so by argument principle, we have this is the n of f minus p of f. This is equal to 1 of 2 pi iota, that is the c of f prime z divided by f of z dz. Okay, that is the one thing. Also and n of f plus g minus p of f plus g, we can write this is equal to 2 pi iota. It is the c of f plus g prime of z divided by f plus g of z of dz. Okay, so then if we take the difference of these two numbers, that is the n of f minus p of f minus n of f plus g minus p of f plus g. So this difference will be equal to 1 upon 2 pi iota. This is the c of, we can write this is the f prime z of fz plus of gz minus f of z. This is the f prime z plus of gz, and this is the g prime z, and this is divided by f of z and f of z plus g of z. Okay, so and this is equal to the dz. Okay, So I can write this one, this is equal to, it is just the 2 pi iota. So I can just write it is the C of this is the f prime z gz gz minus it is the fz of gz g prime z, that is divided by fz of whole square, and that is whole divided by this is the 1 plus gz of fz. Okay, and this is the dz. So finally we can see that we can write this contour integration by the minus 1 upon 2 pi iota of c, it is a capital F prime of z divided by capital F of z and dz. Okay, where this capital Fz, this is equal to 1 plus gz, it is divided by gz divided by fz. Okay, now we can see that since the hypothesis that g mod of gz is less than mod of fz, okay, this is on C. So the meromorphic function we can see. So the meromorphic function W is equal to capital Fz maps C onto it is the W mod of W minus 1 less than 1. Okay, so by this one we can conclude that as Z describes C the point W is equal to capital Fz that traverses a closed contour capital gamma laying completely inside domain, completely inside the domain, it is the mode of this is the W minus 1 is less than 1. Okay, so that we conclude that gamma we conclude that the image curve gamma neither passes through origin nor contains the origin. Okay, it is the nor contains the origin. Okay, so we are getting so that gamma is not passing through origin and it is not containing origin. So finally we are getting that this is the C of capital F prime z upon fz of dz. So we can write this is equal to gamma of dw by w. Now by the Cauchy's theorem, we get the value of this contour integration over this capital gamma. This will be 0. Okay, so if this value is equal to 0, now we can see that the value of this integration will be 0. And if the value of this integration will be 0, so we are getting our conclusion. Okay, So this was the proof of Rose's theorem. Okay. Now we are interested to see the applications of this Rose's theorem. So to see one of the applications, I am just taking let fz this is equal to z square minus 5z of 4 plus of 7. So I am taking this fz. Now first if I take and I am interested to see where are the zeros of this function fz lies. Okay, now if I am taking this gz is equal to 7, and we can see that this gz is not having any zero in C, and if I take this capital fz minus g of z, so this is just the value z of 6 minus 5 of z4. Now using the triangle inequality, we can write it is the mod of z6 plus 5 mod of z4. Okay, so it is the mod of this is the 5z4. Now if z is equal to mod of z is equal to 1, if we take mod of z is equal to 1, then we are getting this is the value this is the value of 1 plus 5, it is just the 6. Okay, so we are getting this if C, if we are having the contour C, it is the z such that mod z is equal to 1. Okay, so in that case the value this value will be 6, and we can see easily that this 6 is equal to mod of gz. Okay, no, okay, so we missed something, that is the it is the z, that is the z. Okay, this 6 we can see this 6 is less than mod of gz. Okay, so finally we are getting that this mod of fz minus gz, this is less than mod of gz. Okay, so by the Rose's theorem, the number of zeros of f and g will be same inside the contour C. Here we can see f is not having any pole in C. Therefore, by this one we can get this is the number of zeros of f will be same as the number of zeros of g. Okay, so and we are having the number of zeros of g will be 0. Okay, so that n of f, this n of f is equal to 0. It means this function f is not having any zero inside the unit circle. This function f is not having any zero inside unit circle. Okay, now if I consider gz is equal to minus 5 of z4, I consider this one. So so the difference of this fz minus of gz, mod of this fz minus gz, this is equal to z raised to power 6 plus of 7. So by triangle inequality we get this is the mod of z raised to power 6 plus 7, and we can take if we consider the contour C, this is equal to z such that mod of z is equal to 2. Okay, so this is equal to this number, we can see this number is less than 5 of mod of z raised to power 4 when mod z is equal to 2. Okay, so from this one we get that this mod of fz minus gz is less than mod of gz. Okay, so by the Rose's theorem, the number of zeros of f will be same as number of zeros of G inside contour mod Z is equal to 2. Here we note that this Ng, this is the number of zeros of G is 4. That is having GZ is having 4 zero, that is having only 1 zero of order 4, so that we are counting it 4 times. So this N of G is equal to 4. So it means we are getting the number of zeros of F inside the contour mod Z is equal to 2 will be the 4. Okay, so the circle of radius 2, so that the circle of radius 2 mod Z is equal to 2 will have 4 zero for this function fz. Okay, further if I take gz is equal to z raised to power 6, okay, then we can see that this mod of fz minus of gz, this is equal to this is the value minus 5 of z raised to power 4 plus of 7. By triangle inequality we can write it is the 5 mod z of 4 plus of 7, and if I take the contour C is equal to it is the z such that mod z is equal to 3, so that we are getting this is less than mod of z raised to power 6 if mod z is equal to 3. Okay, so by this one we are getting that mod of fz minus of gz, this is less than mod of gz. Okay, so if this is, then by Roche's theorem the number of zeros of f will be same as number of zeros of g inside contour mod z is equal to 3. And we note that this g is having only 1 0, z is equal to 0 of order 6. So this Ng will be 6. It means this is the N of f, the number of zeros of f inside mod z is equal to 3, and this will be 6. Okay, so finally this function f will have all 0 inside the contour mod z is equal to 3.